Alright, welcome to the Interdimensional Puzzle Box. This is version 6 at this point, which is also the final version. I'm not doing any more updates to this, but the last few kind of just weren't great, and I wanted to make something actually decent. So let's get into it and just explain how to beat the whole map. So the first puzzle here is just kind of a search puzzle. You have to find all the pieces needed to make a nether portal and light it. So there's kind of obsidian and then other stuff kind of hidden everywhere. We have blaze powder, another piece of obsidian, and a wooden pickaxe in here. We can break this furnace with the pickaxe. And we get coal and the last of our obsidian. And with what we have, we can craft fire charges. And then we can just build our portal and light it. Alright, once we get into the nether here, you're going to see it's a pretty small box. And there's nothing else really in here except that piece of soul sand up there. Obviously, we don't really have a way to get up there right now. We could try using the fire charges, but it wouldn't really work. And we're going to be using a glitch that is patched in versions 1.20.2 and beyond, which is why we're in 1.20.1 specifically. So if you look, our coordinates right now where I'm standing is -2, -2. If we go into the overworld, we're at just about the same coordinates. And the reason this matters is because there's a really weird exploit where if a mob is targeting the player in one dimension and it stays loaded, and the player goes in the other dimension, as long as the mob is still targeting the player and the player and the mob are at the same coordinates between the dimensions, the mob can actually attack the player, which lets us do this. Punching the golem basically aggroes it onto us. Now we can do that to jump up here. With that, we grab these 2 boats and we make our way back down. So now it's up to you if you want to kill the golem or not. I'll go ahead and do that just so he's not in the way, but it's not really necessary to do this. Doesn't drop anything either. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a boat to get up to here. We're going to place soul sand here, boat, and then get up here. Pick the soul sand back up, and now we're in this small little room that has a bunch of bamboo and wooden planks. So we're just going to pretty much grab all of these, and we're just going to craft a crafting table and some sticks. Now let's just break a hole in the roof here. We can once again use the soul sand and the boats to make our way up even higher. And we can clip through the roof here. This room is empty, but what we can do is take our boat, push it up to the corner, and get out here. I'm going to just do this real quick because it's a little loud. That's just there as kind of a anti-cheat, but we can't die, so we can grab that concrete powder there, make our way around here, and grab this log here. And now we just need a way to get underneath this. So what we're going to do is we're going to craft the log into planks, and then we're going to craft fences. Then we take the fence, place it underneath this, go up to it, and place the concrete powder in here. That'll force us into crawl mode, and we can grab both of these items again. Now that we're out here, we just have to run around and grab all the blaze rods. This hasn't really changed much from some other versions, but I think it is different. Or some of this is definitely different from the last walkthrough I made, so now that we have all of this, we need to get up here, because what's up here is an end portal. So I'm going to go ahead and place a fence, place a fire charge down, and make my way up like so. I'm not good at this, but that's okay. That's why we have the other fire charge. And there we go. Changing your frame rate down makes that a lot more consistent, and we can go into the end. Alright, now that we're in the end, we have this wall that's a bit too tall for us to get through, and we have a huge kind of tunnel that goes straight up that we cannot climb up. We also have this slime block here, so we can grab the slime block, and using our blaze rods, we can craft these into 2 magma blocks. And then we can just damage boost up to here, and now we're in this room where there's just a big mess of a lot of different items. So we're just going to go ahead and pretty much grab everything. And you're going to want to pay attention to this small hole in the wall here. If we look inside, there's a piece of glass that's too far for us to break, and there's water and a bucket at the end. So we need a way to obtain that, and we're going to do it with the items we have in here. Now, something worth mentioning is outside of the pumpkins and stuff, all of the wood types are different. I mean, there's like obviously similarities between the slabs and the planks, but nothing can be crafted into like fence posts or fence gates or a boat. So you go ahead and break this sand to pick up the sugarcane. There's a piece of white dye here, and then there's also a dispenser that has 7 eggs in it. So now we're just going to do a bunch of crafting here. Make a crafting table. I will craft one of these into white wool. Turn our sugarcane into sugar, and this is going to let us craft pumpkin pies. We're going to use our crafting table and the rest of our slabs to make a composter. Place that down, fill it with these, get a piece of bone meal, turn that into dye, dye to white wool, white bed, and we've now crafted everything together. So we're just going to place the bed in here and right click. And out comes the bucket. Grab that water there and make our way back to this big hole in the ceiling. And if you're wondering, you cannot climb up here with all the blocks. And even if you could, you'd still need the water anyways, and you'll see why in a moment. There we go. Alright, now we're up here, and we have this little button here. If we press it, we get a boat. We can't, like, duplicate the boat, but we always get one. So this is going to use 2 glitches. One where you can place water down, or place a boat rather, on a really thin piece of water, and it'll phase through the block that the water's on. And the other one is a trick where if you get in and out of the boat in about the same frame, you can basically clip downwards. If you combine these together, you can clip through 2 blocks. Now we can either set this on a block, or we can kind of try to row this in. Oh, this is a little hard to do. Oh. We were stuck. Okay, I'm going to try this again, though. This might take me a couple other tries, just because it's a little bit tricky to pull this off. And obviously, with the lower frame rate, it's visually a little bit tricky to line up. But it does make the trick where you clip through the ground a lot easier. And as you can see, we are now through the ground. So I'm going to turn my frame rate back up. And we are in this ginormous room. So we have a couple things here. We have this villager that wants to trade a couple items. Powdered snow for ice, leather boots for a riptide trident, and a slime ball for bone meal. Which we can do now. We have a hopper up there. There's a hole up there that we want to get into eventually. Whoops. Then we have these 2 kind of holes with redstone lamps next to them. There's a beehive in the background over there, and a piece of powdered snow there. If we go into F5, you can see there's another piece of powdered snow and some weeping vines. Now you can't actually collect those vines, but we can grow them. So doing that will let us make our way into here. Now I have to be very careful. You can fall in the void, but it's not recommended. I have done some stuff to make sure if you are foolish enough to fall in the void, you probably will be fine. We just have to grab this. And we can make our way up here. Press this button, which you cannot steal, by the way. And we can get back onto this platform here. Now we're going to want to make our way to that hopper next. And also, speaking of hoppers, there's one hidden right back here with a piece of leather. But we need to get to that hopper, which we need to be able to stack up 4 blocks into the air. And obviously, we only have 2 actual blocks to do that with. So we're going to use a really cool trick with composters. If you stand in about the middle of a block, jump and place the block, you can be inside the composter here. And then we're just going to place the crafting table here. And we're going to try to pick this up. This might take me a few tries, so if it takes too long, I'll just cut the video. But that looked so good. Oh my gosh. There we go. That took a lot longer than I expected. Also, if you hear like a buzzing outside, I think that's just a neighbor's motorcycle, so sorry about that. Now we can just line ourselves up on the crafting table, do this again, and we can reach the hopper, which gives us shears with 1 use on it, leather, and a fishing rod. With these items, we can now reach these. There's a pressure plate inside each of these. So we just have to activate them, and that activates the dropper up there, which will give us another piece of leather. Let's see if I can nail this. That's in. There we go. I don't know how I didn't activate the first time, but now we have enough leather to make boots. So we can make boots, place them, and we can now climb on the powdered snow. So I'm going to place a crafting table here, powdered snow, and then just pick that up, pillar up, and we should be able to reach this powdered snow up here. There we go. Technically, you only need 1 powdered snow, but it's so much harder to do anything that I really wouldn't recommend it. It's more of a like swag strat, I guess, in here than anything else. But we can just carefully go around here and make our way up to the beehive and get honeycomb from it. Now we just have to very carefully make our way back around. And there we go. Now we can take off our boots and we can trade everything here. And with what we have, we can now place our ice down, break it, and I'm going to let this flow a little bit just so that I don't run the risk of falling in the void. But now we just have to... we just have to get up into there. This might take me a couple tries. But if you fall into the void, the snow that you've picked up gets put here, so you don't get soft locked. There we go. Okay, now we just kind of meander through this tunnel. And once we get to the end of it here, we are met with this tiny little room with a fence gate and nothing else. All we have to do now is get into there. How do we do that? Well, we're going to be using a really cool little trick. So place the fence gate here, composter here, and then this ceiling, it's 3 blocks tall. So this lets us do this really cool little thing where we can kind of blip on the edge of the composter like that. And if we time it right, we can actually put ourselves into crawl mode with this and then get blipped back up to here. It's a little bit tricky to do, but there we go. Once we do that, we can just jump into here. You can try to save that. It literally doesn't matter. Moving on, we can now exit the end dimension. I don't know what's going on outside, by the way. I'm really sorry if you're hearing all that. I think they're doing like yard work or something, but it's 6 p.m., so I hope not. Anyways, we're in, we're in this giant room with a couple of items to our name, just pretty much these. And we just have to pick everything up that we can in order to reach all the items. So, sorry, my brain's a little distracted by the outside noise. Anyways, we can get the composter, a lectern. What on earth are they doing? We get a composter, a lectern, saddle, and string. What we're gonna do with these is, well, we need to be able to throw our trident into there. And in order to do that, we need to get the Riptide enchantment off of this, because otherwise we can't throw it without being in water. If we look up here, you can see there's a grindstone hidden at that at the top of that little ledge. So how do we get up there? It's simple. We're gonna do a couple tricks. So first of all, we're gonna place a crafting table and then a candle. Then we're gonna place a lectern here, and that's just so we can easily climb up there. Then we're gonna break the crafting table, and we need to get it back. Now, obviously, we can jump down here and try to jump back up. It doesn't always work, but if you set your frame rate all the way down, and then jump and hold space, you can damage boost right back onto the candle. From there, we have the hardest thing ever, which is picking up this lectern. This is going to take even longer. Oh my god, finally. Sorry if my voice sounds weird, by the way. I had to change my mic settings to try to get some of the sound of the... I think they're power washing outside, and it's so loud. So we're just rolling with this. If my voice cuts out all weird, there's not much I can do here. I'm trying my best. Anyways, I can finally up my frickin' frame rate. We're gonna jump using the composter, and then using the lectern here, we can make our way up, and finally, de-enchant the trident. Now there is a thing up here. We cannot reach it yet. So, we're going to make our way back, and we're gonna shoot this into there. And miss. Don't worry though. I thought of everything. Bam, we get it back. And now we're just going to kind of make our way up again. Maybe I don't put that there. And we're going to throw this in here. Break that. And if we come on down here, you can see we get the dripstone. And we get a convenient extra lectern. I put that in the map because I kept getting annoyed trying to pick up the other blocks. So now we can go over here, and we can do some of this again. Luckily, we don't have to do the annoying part of this. We just have to do this. But this is easy. We don't have to place the crafting table here, though. So, I'm not going to. There we go. We can climb up here. Take our crafting table, place it there. Place our 2 dripstone up. And grab these items from the dropper. Get our crafting table back. And make our way back down. We don't really need this candle. We'll just leave it there. Now we can just make our way right back up. Grab this iron here. And we're going to do a little bit of crafting. We're going to make this into ingots. Make a minecart. And then we're going to make rails. And we're so close to the end at this point. Then we just sneak around the corner here. This is easier if I place the crafting table like here. You can place rails on the side of this block to place it there. Place the minecart, get into it. Then I'm actually just going to break this and place our dripstone. It just makes it easier to get into the minecart here. Maybe. There we go. And then all we have to do is get on the strider. Like that. Place a rail, place the minecart, and get out. And we escaped! Yay! I wish they didn't just randomly start power washing out here, dude. Anyways, I hope this helped you beat the map. Bye!